There are stories born from fear, stories born from tragedy, and stories born from the strange, quiet moments when reality bends just enough for people to question what they truly saw. Tonight's story is one of those. For decades, in towns scattered across Europe, the United States, and Central Asia, train operators, night shift workers, and travelers have reported the same unnerving sight: a tall man standing perfectly still near railroad tracks at night, facing the rails, silent, unmoving. By the time anyone approaches, he's gone. Some call him the ghost train man, others call him the Watcher. But no matter the name, one thing is certain: people keep seeing him, and nobody knows who he is. This is the case file that rail authorities never closed because they never found anything to close it with. Our story begins in the late 1990s with a train operator in northern Germany. It was around 2:40 a.m. The operator was guiding a slow-moving freight train through a foggy stretch of forest. Visibility was low, but not impossible. And then he saw someone. A man stood beside the tracks, facing the train. Not waving, not moving, just standing. The operator described him as tall, unusually thin, wearing what looked like a long coat. But the detail that unsettled him most was the man's posture, like he had been waiting, expecting something. The operator slowed the train and radioed a warning to the next station. But when police walked the area, there were no tracks in the wet soil, no footprints, no broken grass, nothing that suggested a human had been there at all. The incident was labeled a visual anomaly due to fog. Case closed. Until it happened again, and again, and again. Over the next 10 years, reports of the same figure began surfacing across Europe: Poland, Czech Republic, France, Lithuania. Always the same description: a tall figure standing near the rails, always at night, always completely still. But something else was consistent. He was never seen twice in the same region. Once the first report happened, the figure would vanish for years, then appear in a different country entirely. Rail authorities dismissed it as travelers, hikers, or optical illusions. But operators who saw him knew something was different. One conductor from Prague put it like this: "I've seen people on tracks. You always know when someone is real. But this man, there was something wrong with the way he stood. Too still, like a picture." Another operator said, "He didn't look at us. He looked through us." The sightings spread like quiet rumors between railway workers. Never public, never confirmed, but always the same. In 2009, a railway in eastern Poland upgraded its night vision security cameras. 2 weeks later, an operator reviewing footage froze the video. There he was, a tall silhouette, standing near the tracks at 3:08 a.m. No face visible, no identifiable clothing, just a shape. The man didn't move for 7 full minutes. But the strangest part wasn't his stillness. It was the timestamp. The recording from camera 12 showed the man clearly, but camera 13, positioned only 25 meters away, showed nothing. 2 angles, 2 perspectives, one with a figure, one without. The technicians blamed it on infrared interference, but privately, many admitted they had no idea what caused the discrepancy. The press never heard about it. The footage was archived. but not before a copy made its way into the hands of a paranormal researcher. In 2012, a documentary filmmaker tracked down a retired operator from Hungary who had seen the figure years earlier. He refused at first, but eventually agreed to talk, on the condition his name wouldn't be revealed. Here is what he said. "It was winter, December, 2 in the morning. I saw him near the curve at mile 27. I slowed down, thinking he might need help, but as the light passed over him, I realized he wasn't dressed for winter. His clothes didn't move. The wind blew snow sideways, but nothing touched him." The filmmaker asked if it could have been a mannequin. The operator shook his head. No. He moved. The filmmaker leaned forward. "What do you mean?" The operator took a long breath. "It wasn't like a person, not like something alive. It was small, like adjusting his posture, and then he went still again, too still." He said he radioed it in, stopped the train, and checked the area with the conductor. The snow around the spot was untouched, perfectly smooth. No footprints, no signs of anyone leaving. The filmmaker asked the final question. "What do you think he was waiting for?" The operator didn't answer immediately. When he did, his voice was quiet. "Not for a train, for someone." Around 2016, sightings began appearing far from Europe, in Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and parts of Western China. Workers on old, rarely used cargo lines reported a dark figure standing by the tracks at night, especially in desert or empty steppe regions. One Uzbek technician described him this way: "It looked like he was listening, like he could hear something we could not." These sightings were harder to dismiss. Open deserts leave footprints for days, but investigators found none. No tracks, no traces, just silence. Over the years, several explanations emerged. One, a drifter or hiker, but that doesn't explain the disappearing footprints or sightings across thousands of kilometers. Two, a mass hallucination, except the sightings happened in different countries, years apart, all with the same description. Three, a paranormal entity. Some believe he is a spirit tied to the railway system, not harmful, but watching something we do not understand. Four, a time-lost traveler. A few researchers claim the figure appears only in moments of deep silence, as if he exists between places or between times. But the most unsettling theory came from a Lithuanian investigator. He is not standing near the rails. He is standing where something used to be. The most recent report came from a freight operator in northern Italy in 2023. He described the figure exactly as others had: tall, still, facing the rails. But he noticed something no one else had ever mentioned. His head was tilted, slightly, like he was trying to understand the sound of the train. The operator said he slowed down, called it in, and passed the figure. When he looked in the rear camera, there was nothing. Not a shadow, not a hint of movement. Just darkness. The official record calls these events misidentifications. Rail companies deny the figure exists. Most people have never heard the story. But the reports are still coming. Different countries, different years, different languages. Always the same man. Always the same posture. Always by the rails. People ask, is he real? A shadow? A traveler? A memory? or something else entirely? No one knows the answer. But if you're ever near a railway at night and the world grows too quiet and you feel like someone is standing just out of sight, remember this: some stories don't come from imagination, they come from witnesses. And the ghost train man has been witnessed far too often to be ignored.